Welcome to the desert of the real.
What's good? What's good? It's the Ghetto Logic Show, you sons of bitches.
Hey, what's good? Welcome back to the Ghetto Logic Show. Okay, this episode, or rather this clip, is going to be kind of Albany specific. So, well, you know what? It's not really Albany specific. It deals with anybody that has a car, drives, and just happens to be of a darker hue. Okay, I'm talking about our Black and Latino peoples once again. Okay, and this is the reason why I'm really starting to think that the path that ghettologic.org is taking is kind of important. Okay, I speak to people constantly at work, and when I'm out in the world, and some at parties and stuff like that, and you get to talking, and usually the subject comes up of the whole thing of not DWI, but DWB, driving while black, or DWL, driving while Latin. Just last night around 6 p.m., I was driving down, and this is what makes it Albany specific. About 6 p.m., I said, okay, do everybody in the car, let's go grocery shopping. It's Wednesday night, why not? Okay. So as I turn off of my street and I head up Livingston, I'm seeing police cars. So I'm like, okay, and there's cops standing in the middle of the road. Now, just a couple of weeks back, there was a building that fell on Clinton. So I'm thinking something to that effect might have happened. And the cops are just directing traffic. But lo and behold, the car ahead of me is told to go on, and the cop looks at me and tells me, roll down your window. I roll down the window. And I'm always compliant. The reason being is because I know that just by the color of my skin, I'm kind of at risk. So I always try to be polite. And that's going to be your ghetto-ass advice of the day. Never, ever argue with a cop whether you are right or wrong, because at the end of the day, unless you have a gun or a billy club or a taser or a mace, you have no weapons, and plus a whole team of people that you can radio in to help you. So as I'm driving up the block, because I'm about to get on I-90 and head towards Central, the cop pulls me over, and he's like, I'm like, hold down my window. I'm like, excuse me, officer, is there a problem? To which he says, I need to see your paperwork. Fine, not a problem, officer. So I take out my driver's license, reach inside the little thing, and get my registration and insurance information. And he says, just pull up past that police car over there, and I'll be right back. At the same time, I'm noticing, as I'm waiting for him to come back, that people of a lighter hue are being flagged through, and black people with high-performance cars, or anything that looks halfway decent or has any kind of modifications as far as body work, tint, decals, anything, are being pulled over. I sit there, and I'm speaking with my family, and I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous, So we sat there for about 10 minutes, and then he comes back, and he tells me, he says, oh, well, this is just a checkpoint. We're making sure everybody's all right. You might want to check the tint on your window, because it seems a little dark. Now, I have a receipt that says that my tint is within New York State law. Okay, so he says, I'm just going to give you a citation for that. It's no biggie. It's just like a warning. Okay. And then he turns around and says, yeah, by the way, I need your phone number. I'm like, excuse me, officer? I need your phone number. I don't have a phone. Well, do you have a cell phone? Now, see, at this point, I have two choices. I can lie and say, no, I do not. It just got cut off, or giving him a fake number. But I got Bluetooth in my ear. I keep this in constantly because I never want to get stopped for using a cell phone while operating a motor vehicle. So, when I give him my phone number, lo and behold, I never get the citation. I never get anything. It's just a matter of, once again, classifying and putting me into a database because I have no criminal record. Okay, yeah, I've got a couple of traffic infractions, but no criminal record, nothing. I've never robbed a bank. I've never murdered anyone. At times I feel like it, but I have never given into that base emotion. Okay, now what is the whole point of this? Okay, anybody, and this is why this is kind of Albany specific, anyone that lives in the Albany area knows that, you know, you go up Livingston, especially if you're coming from the lower end of I-90, it's the quickest way to get on I-90, get on the highway, go east to west, wherever you're going, whether you're going to Boston, New York City, or you're just going to the mall. However, people, now, this is the same road that I take back home, okay? And during the hours of like 4:30 to 5, when the state workers and everybody else is clearing out of their work day, this is a heavily trafficked area, okay, until about 6 o'clock. Okay, then you only have the people that live locally coming through that area. Okay, once again, we come into a situation that if you are really trying to make it's safe for the public, why are you just targeting people of color? Because this is a predominantly black neighborhood, okay? So why are you setting up a roadblock at 6 o'clock, okay? If you're saying because we're trying to do this to make sure that everybody's vehicle is correct as far as New York State code goes, for vehicle inspections, registrations, to check if people are driving without insurance, you would think that you would do this during the time period that you can entrap or catch these people that's breaking these laws. Again, I noticed firsthand as the officer is telling people that are pulling past me, I'm looking at my window. He's not stopping anybody of European descent. He is not stopping anyone. However, they did catch a few black people. I don't know what they was doing, but a couple of people got cuffed and taken away. Okay, it's the end of the month. Okay, police around the country have always stated that they do not work on a quota system. Okay, however, I am really starting to notice that at the end of the month, there are roadblocks, checkpoints, cops are just stopping people at random, going through their pockets and stuff like that. And they're doing it, dare I use the phrase again? Always at ground zero. Okay? The hoods of America. Now, you take this job to protect all of the inhabitants of Albany, not just for a certain group. Okay? And, you know, and like I said, you know, I converse with people. And sometimes the argument or the conversation get kind of heated because it always seems that when I'm talking to people of European descent that they see no problem. Oh, yeah, they had a checkpoint over by me, you know, a few months ago. Okay? I turned around and I asked my son because in a way I'm kind of glad this has happened because my son is growing up in an era where they are basically, I mean, in this area, I'm from Queens, okay, and in this area, you know, there's a mingling. You know, people, younger people, for the most part, get along. But I constantly try to tell my kids, you know, if they're out late at night, if they're hanging out, you know, with their friends, I kind of tell them, I kind of need to know what neighborhood they're going to be in. I tell them you really shouldn't be walking the street in packs, stuff like this. And they always say to me, like, you know, well, Dad, it's no big problem. You know, it is a big problem. It is a big problem. And the reason being is because we have a police department that is run by people. Okay, and the police force in Albany is predominantly white. Okay, and what happens is, and I'm not going to say they're lazy because I don't want them targeting me constantly, but you know, the path of least resistance seems to work for the Albany PD. I have been questioned so many times on crap. I'm warming up my car in the wintertime. Sir, we just heard gunshots. Did you see anything? No, officer. I'm sitting in my car. The radio is blasting, and I'm warming up my car. So, no, I didn't hear anything. Oh, okay. Well, can I take your phone number? Officer, I just told you I didn't hear anything. I'm not a witness to anything. Why do you need my number? To which I am told that this is the status quo. Okay, ghetto ass advice piece of the day. Okay, be very careful out there. Okay, because the world, for some strange reason, I'm starting to think it's changing. Okay, and it's not really changing for the benefit of people of color. Okay, across the country, governments and as far as local and state government, they're crying broke. They're crying bankruptcy. And just like the times of war, where we find that our Black and Latino uncles and fathers and sons, and at this point, daughters, are being put on the front lines to fight wars that never never benefited us. Okay, look at World War II. Okay, we were glorified servants for most of that. Okay, look at the Vietnam War. Okay, what did we do there? Okay, all we did was catch a lot of bullets and lose a lot of limbs. Okay, while the rest of European-based America sat back and said, listen, you got a college degree, you can stay off the front lines. Granted, don't get me wrong. Okay, I served. Okay, not during wartime, but I did serve. I did my duty for this country. And I do realize that there are a lot of people that are not Black and Latino that have lost their lives in conflicts. Okay, so I'm not taking away from that. What I'm basically saying is we're in a constant conflict of, okay, the numbers are down, crime is going up, you need to set up checkpoints, vans, cameras, everything else in the Black neighborhoods. This will stop the crime. Listen, there are just as many white people driving without insurance, without licenses, with DWIs that shouldn't be behind the wheel anyway. Okay, I watch half of Albany Police Department drive down the street with cell phones attached to their ears. They don't even have the decency to use Bluetooth or pull over. And let me tell you another secret. If a cop stops you and thinks that he's wrong, he's always going to try to find something. Hence, this magical citation that I never got. Okay? Because they know what they're doing already is wrong. Okay, so they're going to have to cover their tracks. So as far as the using a cell phone, the key word in the law is while operating a motor vehicle. So that means that you could be pulled over on the side of the road so that you can complete the call. However, if your engine is running, what are you doing? You are operating a motor vehicle. Funny how the laws, when you really look at them, become vague. Okay? How they really become vague. Okay? I just came from court, speeding ticket. No biggie. The only thing was, for once in my life, I have to admit, I wasn't really speeding. However, when I brung photo evidence, okay, because supposedly where the cop saw me and clocked me speeding was like 25 feet from a complete stopped red light. Okay, and I love my car. However, it's not a Porsche. Okay, so no, I can't do from 0 to 53 miles per hour and 25 feet. Okay, I just can't. I wish I could, because that means I got my money's worth for this vehicle. Okay, however, when I brung my evidence, including pictures, circled from Google Maps, showing where I was at, where the officer claimed he clocked me at, and where I stopped at, I even told the DA, I said, the physics are impossible. To which I was told, well, yeah, but officer, I'm not going to say his name, is never wrong. At this point, I had to bite my tongue, okay, because see there, I started to see red. I don't care if Officer Blank is always right, because Officer Blank may not have checked his equipment that day before he went on the road. Okay? But I was basically threatened that I would accept what the court gave me, or I could take the trial, and which he basically told me I was going to lose, because more than likely he was going to be the DA trying me. Okay? So basically, I was treated like someone just stuck an ATM card up my butt and said, please give me X amount of dollars, which came to almost $200. Okay? You begin to wonder, as I'm sitting in the courtroom, I'm watching the judge basically poo-poo shit away. But I have to admit, not all is gray and gloomy, because the judge actually looked at my docket, he looked at the evidence, and he continuously asked me, he said, are you sure you want to do this? Okay, because, every once in a while, like I always say, not all cops are bad, not all politicians are bad. Some of them actually want to do their job. However, at the end of the day, I couldn't take the chance of basically getting 6 points and like $700 by the time it was all over, for a trial that was going to actually be rigged. Okay? Again, we have become the easiest way to solve the problems and the woes of middle-class white America without really bothering them. Case in point, just speaking to the family about it. Okay? Suarez, where you at, baby? Where you at? Okay? You know what happened? Suarez basically said you had to follow the law at Live at 5. He said there's no drinking. No drinking in public. Oh my God, did people have a fit? Oh, we've always done this. This is our only release of fun. We come back to the law is the law. Okay? This is the law. Okay? You're not supposed to drink in public. End of story. Okay? They've looked, for years, they've just overlooked it. Okay? But now that they want to enforce the law, you're saying they're unfair. Okay? Let's put this in perspective for the people that are watching this and saying, oh, well, it's a different situation. Okay. Let's say there's a block party on Clinton Avenue, or a block party on Livingston Street, or a block party in any urban area. Okay. Let a cop come through and see someone with a bear. Okay. Out in the open. I've seen people get tickets in New York State, no lie, for sitting on their property behind a fence, drinking a beer. Okay? And have been told, well, you can tell it to the judge. Okay? Last time I checked, there ain't no courthouse open on Saturday or Sunday. Okay? So that means that if you are employed, you will take a day off from work. Okay? You will lose a day, so you will lose money. No matter how you look at it, whether it's a vacation day or whatever, that's money. Okay? And you will also end up losing time. Something that we as human beings in this reality never, ever, ever get back. Okay? I just had to get that off my chest, because as I'm driving away from this scene of basically harassment, I'm realizing somebody's really got to talk about this shit, because everybody else in the world thinks everything is A-okay. But didn't I say that in the last clip? It's always good as long as it's in the hood. Yo, listen, it's the Ghetto Logic Show. You know how we do things here. Keeping it constantly real, okay? Be it the Ghetto Logic Show, Real Talk the Show, or He versus She, we're blowing up, baby. And I need your support. Tell people to log in. Tell people to check out what we're talking about, because we're talking about reality, baby. Yeah, we do the video game reviews and we talk about UFOs and shit like that. But this is the reality. This is the reality that we live in right now. Listen, I got to get the book in. I got to get back to the lab. Got a lot of work to do. I want to thank y'all for stopping by the Ghetto Logic Show. Peace! Yes, thumbs up, bitches.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
This unit must survive.
Survive, yes. Protect yourself.
That our computer was daydreaming?
Computer, identify malfunction immediately.